So I follow Lee Fong, I guess is how you say it. His name is, it's spelled with an A, Fang, but it's pronounced Fong. I've been told, that's what people have told me. Anyway, he tweeted this out. It's pretty interesting. He says, Democratic Party used moments before the debate to finally disclose their convention sponsors. Now, I was at the Democratic Convention in Philadelphia this year. And so you have to have on all these badges because it's super heavy-duty security, right? And so you have to have all these badges, and you have to get Secret Service approved. But around each one of these, or lanyards, right, that you have to wear around your neck, on the rope or whatever, the piece of cloth that clipped it to you, it said Comcast. Now, I don't know if you know Comcast, pro-tpp. Comcast. Comcast owns NBC, correct?
Yeah,
they do now.
They own MSNBC. Ed Schultz was against the TPP, spoke too loudly about it. They fired him. Go ahead.
This was at the Wells Fargo Arena?
Was it the Wells Fargo Arena?
I'll double check. I believe
yes, I think
true.
it was. It was Quicken. It was the Quicken Loan Center in Cleveland, and it was the Wells Fargo Center, Wells Fargo in Philly.
And the consolidation is so depressing, because prior, now Comcast owns MSC. Before that, they had very ethical owners like General Electric. So it's very tragic.
So I knew it was just like I would walk around, I would interview people I remember I was interviewing Adam Green, formerly of Move On, now of Progressive Change campaign committee, and he was talking me he was trying to sell me on how progressive the Democrats are. And I was like, look at what does that say right there? I grabbed his lanyard. I go, what does that say? And he's like, yeah, I know. And I know. I'm just saying. So here it is. So according to Lee Fong, politicians frequently attempt to obscure news coverage by releasing information right before the weekend or before a major holiday, a tactic commonly referred to as Friday news dump. So you put out some embarrassing news that you don't want people to hear about. You put it out on Friday because everybody's busy with the weekend. Nobody watches the news or reads the paper, and then you're back to Monday, and that nobody ever hears about the story.
Then you hope some celeb gets into a fist fight or something. Yeah,
and you hope that Mel Gibson's drinking.
Yeah,
or
Justin Bieber beats up a teen.
Yeah. Or Hugh Grant's got a boner on Sunset Boulevard.
It's almost like the powerful and the elite are helping each other out. I don't know. I got a weird theory.
He goes on, the Democratic Party, just moments before the debate tonight, this is the debate this week, released the donor list for the party nominating convention in Philadelphia. Some of the largest donors include Comcast at $5.6 million in cash and in-kind donations. $5.6 million Comcast gave for the Democrats for their convention. AT&T gave $1.5 million. And the Independence Blue Cross gave $1.5 million. Other major donors included Google, which gave $500,000, Microsoft and $650,000. DuPont, the chemical company, gave them $100,000 for their convention. And they let this go. This information, they released it right before the debate started, so nobody would talk about this, and they would just talk about the debate. And that's exactly what happened. Nobody talked about it. Lee caught it, and then I caught it from him, and I'm talking about it here. But we have talked about it before. I talked about it when I was in Philadelphia. I couldn't get over it. The Democratic Party's convention, sponsored by this frickin' Comcast, and it's held at a bank center at the Wells Fargo. I mean, and you wonder why people aren't coming out to vote? Do you wonder why half the country doesn't vote? They know the system is rigged. They know there's no way to vote against Wall Street. There's no way to vote against more war. There's no way to vote against more trade deals that are going to ship more jobs to even more desperate poor people in poor countries. They know this. People know this. I know this. And that's why it's such a struggle. That's all this doesn't help. Just get out of bed with them. Bernie Sanders proved that you're a sucker for taking their money, that you don't have to take their money. If you speak directly to the people from your heart, the people will support you like they supported Bernie Sanders. People are ready. We're done. We're done with neoliberalism. I think so. What do you think, Ron?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is more, proof that we have a two-party system that does not at all represent the people that live here. That's why more than ever, it's time to start breaking that down, because it's just over now.
It's over.
We have fringe right and center right. That doesn't represent the people that live here. Bernie Sanders proved that.
That's right. That's a great way to put it. We have fringe right and center right. Those are our two choices.
Absolutely.
Fringe right and center right. Those are our two choices. There's no way to vote against more war. There's no way to vote against more fracking. There's no way to vote against Big Pharma. There's no way to vote against Wall Street. Both of them are for more deregulation. Nobody's for instituting Glass-Steagall. So great catch. That's why half the country doesn't vote. That's why they can't. They're still scratching their head. That's why Hillary Clinton has to yell, now, having said all that, why aren't I 50 points ahead? This is why. Because you're a Republican. And when people are given the choice between a Republican and someone who acts like a Republican, they choose the Republican every time.
And you know what else is scary about these numbers, Jimmy? 100,000 from the chemical company because, well, they know fracking's safe. But you look at those 5.6 millions, those 1.5 millions. The Democrats are the only folks we can count on right now to keep net neutrality for us.
Right. Yeah. Well, the Democrats went along with net neutrality because Google did and Facebook did. And so that's when Barack Obama was like, oh, okay, they're with it. Okay, then I'm with it. But believe me, if they would come out against it, just like the TPP, he would be, whatever their corporate donors say, they do. And it started with the screw over of the American people by Bill Clinton and NAFTA. Not only did he insult his base, he diminished their power forever. His own base. And Bill Clinton had signed a private deal to privatize, did you know this? Privatize Social Security with Newt Gingrich. They signed this deal. They had a deal. The next day, Monica Lewinsky happened, so that's why we still have Social Security. So Democrats can get stuff done that Republicans can't get done. George Herbert Walker Bush signed NAFTA. He couldn't get it through Congress. Bill Clinton did. He couldn't deregulate the telecommunications industry, so now we only have 6 companies controlling all our newspaper, TV, radio. A Democrat got it done. They couldn't gut welfare, a Republican, a Democrat did it. They couldn't deregulate Wall Street, a Democrat did it. And now, if Republicans pushing TPP, all the Democrats, all the independents would be against it. But since Barack Obama is pushing it, a lot of Democrats feel they're safe to vote for it because their president is for it. The leader of their party is for it. So that's the problem. And people know it now. That's the big problem. People know there's no way to vote against all those things. There's nobody representing them.